Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have this video of how I made this midi length cordless dress finish, inseam finishing. So stick with me to the end of the video as I show you guys a step-by-step guide of how I achieved this dress. So guys, so this is the clothes and then this is the lining. So the same way I have sewed the clothes is the same way I sewed the lining, and the front has the half length since the remaining part is the cordless. So the first thing I did was to sew an organza so that it's going to be transparent and the neckline is going to be very neat. So I am going to sew the whole neck from the back to the front. That is what I'm going to do first. Alright guys, I have sewed the neckline and it looks really neat now. So I'm not going to top stitch on it because there's basically no need, since I'm still going to turn over and sew the half cut length. So what I did was that I took it back and then aligned my half length because I left an allowance for that, so that place is neat. So I am going to sew there on 1/2 inch and then I'm going to show you guys the outcome. Alright guys, so one thing I did when I was sewing the lining was that I left a space. You can leave whatever choice between 3 inches to 6 inches so that you can put your hand all through. So the thing I did again was that I turned the lining over down, opening up the cordless area to where the half length stop, and I sewed on 1/2 inch. Although I made the lining a bit 1 inch shorter, so I'm going to sew on that line and then turn everything over and show you guys the outcome again. Alright guys, so I have sewed this and this is how the back of where the cordless is laying on the front is. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew that part where the Ankara stops. I'm going to sew it down so that there is no space by the side of the dress. So I'm going to sew just that small part, this part I'm showing you here. Unless I forget guys, you're going to be sewing on the allowance you left on the clothes. For this clothes I left about 1.5 inches because she wanted extra allowance just in case in case she puts on weight in the future. Alright guys, so after sewing the clothes itself, I'm going to sew to where the lining stops, just also so that there's no extra space by the side for the lining and for the fabric itself. So I'm just going to sew just that small part remaining that I didn't sew before because I left extra space in it. Alright guys, so after sewing that, this is the outcome of it. This is the inner part of it and it's taking shape. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to face fabric to fabric. and I'm going to hold it. That is the zip area, and I'm going to hold it. Make sure my waist line align all to where the zip is going to stop, and then where the slit is going to stop. So for this, I am just going to make sure I use my zip, because I'm going to use the full length of the zip since it's starting from upward, and I'm just going to mark it because that is where I'm going to double stitch and start sewing a tight stitch from there all to the hips, so sorry, not the hips, to the slit where I'll stop. And alright guys, so yeah, I am done with sewing it. I sewed loose stitch to where the zip stops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a good press, and then I'm going to lose it to this point where I marked up where the zip is going to stop, because that's where I tightened my stitch and made it a tight stitch. So well, the reason for me ironing that stitch, loose stitch, is so I can get a line to be able to sew my zip in properly because of the way I attach my zip. So that's what I just did right now. So now I am, attaching my zip, and then I will show you guys the outcome of, the whole outfit when I finish attaching the zip. Alright, so I'm done sewing the zip, and I am going to do exactly what I did to the lining, but before then I'm going to sew from where the zip stops to for the lining and where the slit starts. I'm going to sew that together. The next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to attach the lining to the clothes. That is for the zip area. So I'm just going to put all these clothes in as you're seeing me doing in the video, and I am going to align the waist and the head, and I'm just going to sew through to where the lining stop, where the opening of the lining stops. So that is what I'm going to do for both sides of the zip, and I'll show you guys the outcome. Alright guys, so what is left now since after sewing the zip is the slit area and the downside of the back. So as you can see, I'm basically done with everything. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put my hand into where I left the space in both sides, and I am going to pick the end of the fabric with the end of the lining. But remember that the lining is 1 inch shorter. Alright guys, so I'm done sewing it, and this is how the back side of the length of the dress looks like. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to fold, because this is the side now, so I'm going to fold in my allowance, which I left 1.5 inches. So I'm going to sew there first of all. Also, I'm also going to sew at the other end for 1 inch allowance I left up to the slits. So this is exactly what I am going to do for this. And for this, I left I used 5 inch by the sides of each, so you can use either of it to run a stitch on both sides. So I'm going to do that to the dress and show you the outcome of everything. So guys, this is the outcome of the inseam finishing of this dress. That's a midi dress with cut lace in front, and this is how it looks. So the next thing I'm just going to do is to fold here by 1 inch in and sew, and this is how the inside of the dress look like, and I'm going to show you how the outside of the dress looks like. So if this was really helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe. So we have come to the end of the video. I'm just going to give this a very good press and iron it properly so everything can sit properly, and I'm going to attach the sleeves and finish up the hem of the cut lace. And the sleeve is the only part that I am going to sew and weave from, but the other opening by the side I'm going to iron it with a gum stay. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.